Hey guys, it's Sam with The Blind Life. Welcome back to the channel where I help you learn how to live your best blind life. Today we're going to take a look at a product called the Scan Jig, which will work with your mobile device and your favorite OCR app. So hang on, we'll be right back. Now in this video I'm featuring this specific product. It's called the Scan Jig. But keep in mind that there are several things on the market that are similar to this. This particular one has been around for a while. You've probably seen it before, but I've never featured it on the channel before, and so I thought I would today. The reason why I like this one is because it folds down to a nice little compact size. It's made out of plastic, so it's going to be durable, and it's very easy to set up just by feel. You don't have to see anything in order to set this up. The other thing is, which you'll see here in a minute, is it can accommodate basically any size device, whether you're using a smartphone or a giant tablet like my big iPad Pro. Now these scanning products like the Scan Jig here, I think were originally designed so that people could transfer their physical documents and pictures into digital media and save them that way, archive them. But as I said, they work really well for OCR apps like Seeing AI, Envision, SuperSense. All right, but enough about that. Let me show you how you assemble the Scan Jig. So it's all self-contained. You flip the lid up like that. It hinges up. Normally you're going to have, when you first get it at least, you're going to have some instructions and a black piece of cardboard. Then you have this plate here that has a little plastic hinge or a little stand on the back. Set that aside for a second. You've got a bag with some clips and some adhesive rubber things. I'll tell you what those are for here in a second. Then you have this long piece here. This is the shelf that goes onto this piece. And that is it. Inside the Scan Jig here, you have lots of little notches. And these are for this little shelf here to sit into. So you just kind of want to pick one. Sorry, blocking the camera. It doesn't necessarily matter which one you want. It kind of depends on how far away you want to be away from your paper. Your paper is going to go on this back board here. Okay, the shelf slides into one of these little notches and then leans back, and that's where this little stand comes into play, so it can't go back any further, and it's kind of stable. You have these little holes on this shelf here, or this little board. Sorry, I keep blocking the camera. Maybe I could do it this way. And that's where this shelf comes into play. It has little notches that click into here. And depending on how tall your device is, which device you're using, that's going to determine which of these little notches you put your shelf into. We're going to try and do this by feel here. Hey, I got it. Let me see if I got it even, level. Yeah, I think we did. Okay, and that is it. That is the entire setup of the Scan Jig. So now you take your piece of paper, your photo, your document, whatever it is, and you're going to set it up against this backboard here. And it's perfectly sized that it just fits one piece of paper perfectly, an 8x11 sheet of paper. Once again, you could do a book, you could do a photo, whatever you want. If you did have something like a magazine or a book on here, that's where you can use these clips to clip the sides of the pages or the book to hold it in place. The little adhesive rubber pieces that are also in this bag, they go onto the shelf here. All right, so now we've got our shelf a little higher than it was. So you see the phone just sits right on there, and because of those little padded things I put on there, the phone's not going to fall off. And you just want to center it up to where your camera is basically in line with the center of this little shelf board and pointing at the back. If you had a smaller piece of paper or a photo or something like that, that's when you could use this black cardboard to place behind it and add some contrast around the edges. But now we just use our favorite OCR app.
Scan Jig. Printed setup instructions. Page 1 of 2. Setup instructions can also be found online at www.scanjig.com/instructions. Video www.
And it just scanned it very quickly and read it. So it just works really, really well. I mean, it's a very simple design, but it works fine. Okay, now I'm using my iPad, and as I said, I'm using the very large iPad Pro, and that's why the shelf on this version, I believe this is the Scan Jig Pro, that's why the shelf extends out past the side of the board here, is to accommodate a tablet with the camera in the corner. In order to line up the shot, the tablet has to hang off the side, but you have this long shelf, that's no problem.
Bottom and left edges processing. Scan Jig printed setup instructions. Page 1 of 2 setup instructions can also be found online at www.scanjig.com instructions video.
I don't know why my reading voice is English, or maybe Australian, but anyway, you see it works. So this is the Scan Jig. Really cool, nice little device for scanning your documents, scanning in photos, whatever you want. You could have this set up on a desk and go through your mail, go through your bills, all of that kind of stuff. All right, well, that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you found it helpful, please consider giving the video a thumbs up. Definitely helps out the channel. If you aren't already subscribed to The Blind Life, I recommend you do that as well. I put out a new video every single week on blindness, low vision, assistive technology, product reviews, all of that. I have over 700, I think right around 700 videos on my YouTube channel at this point, so a lot of information. Then, of course, you can also find me on other social medias, including TikTok. Come join us over on TikTok, The Blind Life on TikTok. We have a lot of fun over there. All right, guys, as always, Sam with The Blind Life. I'll see you next time.